Hey everyone, Vicki with Vicki's Tigger Tales. Welcome to my channel where we swap, unbox, and talk all things Disney. Today we are doing a collab with other channels about Beauty and the Beast and our thoughts on the movie. Each channel has the prerogative of being able to tell their own story and their own opinions on what they think of the movie. And I have only asked to do like a top 5 kind of video where it could be characters, it could be stories, it could be quotes, it could be songs, it could be all kinds of different things. Just your top 5 memories. What did it spark? Whatever it was. And then each video is going to be a little bit different, but we're all going to be talking about the same movie. So this will air on the 12th on Saturday. And so I wanted to kind of go through Beauty and the Beast, and I'm going to kind of focus a little bit more on the live action. That's the one I recently watched that I absolutely love. I think it's probably, besides Maleficent, one of the first live actions that I actually enjoyed. And so I wanted to kind of highlight a couple of things in the scenes that and why I enjoyed them. The premise of the story: Belle lives in Paris. She lives in a very small town, a provincial type town, where everyone thinks she's a little odd because she reads, and she longs to escape and have an adventure of her own away from that life, that provincial life. Gaston is a hunter. He wants Belle as his wife because of her beauty. Her beauty is the best in the town, so she has to be the best. So and then we have her father, that dynamic, and how much love they have between the two of them, so much so that she sacrifices her own freedom for her father's. And then there's so many different things to the story. The Enchantress and the Enchanted Rose, the last petal falls, you gotta fall in love before that happens. All of that, it just really puts some interesting dynamics into a very wonderful story already. So live action, still the same thing. Enchantress gets kind of shunned, if you will, by the prince, and she turns him and his household into animate yet inanimate objects, so to speak. And if you've never seen the movie, you got to watch it to know what I'm talking about. I love how each one of those characters was, like a dresser or a clock or a candlestick holder. And how her father goes out to, sell some clocks, and he gets kind of like sidetracked and ends up at the castle and gets imprisoned, and then Belle goes out looking for him, finds him, and trades places. So the first scene I wanted to talk about, first of all, is the first scene period. And when she's walking through the town singing this provincial life, and everyone is talking about her character, and she's not paying any attention to them. She is very happy in who she is. She is bookish and loves to find the adventures and the stories that she reads, and does her escape from this life in those books. So that is a really nice character introduction as to who she is, and then also a little bit of her father and her, as well as Gaston's obsession. And so you kind of get a little bit of a mix of the character dynamics and how they're all working just in that first scene. So that was actually number 5 in the scenes. I'm going to go down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In this one, the last 4 were really hard to rate, because some of them I would have to be like, even with the others, they were so good. So the next one I wrote down was the library scene where the prince or beast takes Belle into his library, and she's just overwhelmed by how every corner of that space had a book in it. And she was asking, have you read all these? And, you know, he is the prince. He, of course, he was educated and, you know, had owned all of those as well. And so she basically was like, this is like her, you know, like, for anyone who's a book lover, this was like a dream come true. Like building a nook in your favorite little space to like lay down, read, have a whole bunch of books surrounding you, and just living your best life. So I love that scene for her. The next was kind of the ending scene. Is really one of the ones that I really love, when everyone came back to life and you saw you hear the voices, you kind of know who the actors and actresses are playing those voices, but it was really nice to be able to see them come to life. And, you know, the love affair with Lumiere and Plumette, and how, you know, the characters that they picked for these roles were maybe something you didn't imagine. And so I really love that scene, and the dance and the song that they sung at the end. I thought it was a beautiful ending to that story, them all dancing together, and just very happy that they were back to their original state. The next was the dinner scene, Be Our Guest. Who doesn't love that, first of all? I even love that animated one. Not that I, you know, like, there's no difference in my opinion. I mean, like, the animated scene in the animated version is extraordinary, but to see it in live action as well just brought another level to it, to really bring everything to life. Was just a joy to see. And then Belle's reaction to, you know, seeing everything come to life on the dinner table was just like who wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, the dishes are actually talking to me. This is crazy, but this is so cool. Like, I would love to be able to have that happen in my life. Although I might be a little weary of the candlestick and fire, so maybe not that part. But I just thought it was absolutely stunning, and they did such a good job in the live action version of that scene. I have to give the directors, producers, all of that, just kudos for that, because it really did bring that part of the story to life in a next level way. And then the last was Belle and Beast dancing. Just when they both come down the stairs, he's just dressed to the nines and looks so dapper, even in the state that he is. It's just, you know, he's really trying his hardest to impress her. She in that dress, oh my goodness, if you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. The dress is stunning. It is so beautiful. The way that it flows, the way that he just carries her so effortlessly around that, I don't know, the foyer, whatever you would call that area in the house. It's huge, but it's so wonderful. Ballroom. And they're just the only two that are there in the moment. So romantic and so beautiful. And the way that dress moves, I'm telling you, it's just beautiful. So those are my picks for the scenes. I really am so happy that live action kind of followed so closely to the animated version, because you always often get a little weary maybe of some of the liberties that they, you know, take doing something like that, because of the animated versions are such classics. I mean, we grew up with them. our kids grew up with them, and you just don't want to mess with perfection. And I was really happy to see how they elevated this story to another level. So very pleased with this. I hope that you, like I'm telling you, go down the list. There's not many people on it, so you'll find it for sure. But there's one person that I know what she's doing, and I cannot wait to see it. So look for that and enjoy. The next movie we're doing is Pinocchio. This one's gonna be I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I really only care for the animated version on this story. I'll go into that more in a couple of weeks, but there's a couple of things that I want to touch base on. So I am excited about doing that next. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always being so supportive, loving, and kind. I really treasure that about you all. You are amazing. And ta-ta for now.